Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, fashion dolls. Welcome to an all new episode of Stop by Stevie. It is Neo Soul Week and Fierce Female Friday. And today, our very special guest is a Harlem and Brooklyn, New York native. She's extremely beautiful, extremely talented. She's a singer and songwriter, and she's known for her self titled album, which was released in 1999, called I Love Me. So I'm super excited, without further ado, to introduce our very special guest, Cherokee, the artist. I'm so excited. It's Neo Soul Week, ladies and gentlemen, so let's get this interview crack-a-lackin'. Let me go on ahead and shoot this interview out to Cherokee. Make sure you guys share this live. And she's here, ladies and gentlemen, our very special guest, Miss Cherokee. All right, let's get it started.
Hey,
Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? So
I'm
beautiful.
doing excellent. Thank you. You are too. Oh my
Thank
God, I can't
you.
believe it. All right,
Aw.
ladies and gentlemen, our very special guest, Cherokee, is here. Let's get this interview started. I was just listening to one of your albums, your subtitle album, which was released in 1999, I Love Me, and While I'm Flying, the first track. That's one of
Okay.
my favorites from that album. And then your
Oh,
current
thank
hit,
you.
Goddess, which is another one of my favorites as well, too. So
Thank you.
you grew up in Brooklyn and a little bit of Harlem?
Yes, I was born in Harlem, but I was raised in Brooklyn on a block called Eastern Parkway, like right there where they have the Labor Day parade. Yeah, it
Okay,
was, it was,
okay.
it was really good, really good. I had a wonderful childhood there.
And you began writing poetry at the age of 12?
Yes, you did your homework.
Yes, girl, I had to for this
Yay.
interview.
Oh, thank you so much.
You are so welcome. You are beautiful as well as the day is long, and I've been a fan of yours since I would have been still in diapers. Like I'm 27, and I'm like, who is she? Because I remember BET had the show Planet Groove, and they would air your videos along with the Lauryn Hills. And 1999 was such a great era of music because you had Faith Evans, you had Terry Ellis. You were out during that time. Mary J. Blige was out.
Absolutely.
Whitney Houston was living. So it's so
Absolutely.
many, it's such a great era of music. Do you feel as
Yeah.
though the neo soul and R&B music category has kind of shifted from the way it was back then?
I feel like it shifted a little bit, you know. I feel like the artists back in the day had a little more depth, I can say, you know.
Yes.
Songs are really real and it wasn't just about, hit it and quit it, you know. It was really some deep subjects going on, you know. I can speak for myself saying that every song that I've written is basically something that I've experienced, something that I've lived or something that I've gone through, you know. So for me, I think that's where lyrical content, I think was better back then, you know.
Yes, definitely. Than the way it is now. And then with all
Yeah,
this, auto tune and everything, like everybody could just sing a cappella naturally. You wouldn't have to worry about
yeah,
all this editing and so many things. Like technology and music
right,
go hand in hand. But nowadays it's so modernized.
right, exactly. It's like anybody can pretty much do it now, you know.
Yes. Like it's
You know,
not natural.
for
It's
me,
not
it comes from, it's
organic.
right, exactly. For me, it's not a choice, you know. It's a thing that I'm just born with to tell a story, you know. It's like I have to tell the story, you know. It's not something that's, oh, I want to jump on this bandwagon and do this because everybody else is doing it. And you have a lot of that going on today, you know.
Right, and I was doing an interview with Urban Mystique since we're in the category of neo soul music this week, and I asked him the same question. I said, "Do you feel as though R&B and neo soul has lost its touch?" And he said, "To an extent, yes. Things are not the way they were back then. Whereas now you've got all this like a T Pain or somebody or Dr. Dre who's going in the studio and they're doing all of this editing, all of this hard work. They're incredibly talented, but it's not the way it
Mhm.
was back then. Like." R&B and neo soul music had its own lane. It was just natural. It was organic, and then to be able to
Yeah.
react with your fans. Now we've gone through this pandemic, and it's crazy. Has it been difficult for you to get your music out there like that?
Man, it not only has it been difficult, but it's touched home for me. You know, during this pandemic, I lost my mom and
Oh
I lost my
no,
uncle.
sorry.
Yeah, so it's been
Whew.
I just kind of have taken a step back from it all just to spend time with my family, with my husband and my kids, and just reflect. And I think it's a moment to just reset, you know, spiritually, for everyone to just get in tune with who they are, to pay attention to your health, to pay attention to how you're living, you know, what you're putting out there in the universe. You know, because mind, body, and soul all have to be connected as one. You have to take care of it all. The way that you're eating, what you're doing, how you're living. So I've just
Absolutely.
taken a moment to just reflect and even think about the music that I want to put out next time, you know, what I want to say, you know. I find that I have a difficult time writing outside of of what my own experiences. So I think I'm going to challenge myself to, you know, possibly write about other things other than what I'm going through. You know, this pandemic is a big thing. You know, of course, I'm not going to write a song called COVID, but I would like to talk about this, you know, and what we're all going through because I know I'm not alone in this. We're all going through the same thing. I know
Together.
everyone knows someone that lost somebody, you know, in this. So I just think, you know, the music at the moment, it's important, but I realize the family's first, you know.
Absolutely. And
Yeah, family's first.
being a
I'll get
woman,
back to it, you know, I'll get back to it when the spirit calls for me to get back to it.
yes.
But at the
And
moment, I have my children at home with me, you know.
yes,
So that's
has a
my
bit. Yes, that was going to be my next question for you, actually. Motherhood, the balance of motherhood, being a singer and then being a mom. And I think it was, who was it? It was somebody in one of these interviews. It was one of these artists because I'm such an R&B music fan lover and neo soul music fan lover. Like I love the Sades, I love the Anitas, I love the Phyllises, Phyllis Hyman, the Shantae Moores. I love them all. But for
right.
being a woman in the industry, have you had your challenges? Because I'm pretty sure, like a lot of women have been, there's certain things a woman can say in certain songs, whereas if a man he goes out here he says it, oh yeah, it's a turn on. But when a woman, speaks, because Miss Girl, you've been using a little bit of sexuality in some of your videos. We seen the Bilal cover. I swear, you had that guy on the bed. I'm just like, go ahead, and I was living for the hair. So yes, um,
No,
has it
I'm
been
not
difficult for you?
ashamed to express myself sexually. I'm very open, you know. I'm very free about sex and all of that. So it doesn't. I've never really had a dilemma, you know, with that. It's so funny that you say that with the I Swear video. That the guy who was in that video at the time was very nervous to touch me and very nervous, you know, to be close to me. And my husband called and was like, "Man, you better make me jealous. You better grab her. Trying to get a hold of her." So, you know, we have a very open, cool relationship. You know, we don't have no jealousy. We don't go through all of that. We've been together 20 years. So, you know, I don't have problems when it comes to that in that area.
And that's love. That's love 100%. And you've seen so many women speak out on challenges that they face in the industry. It was Meg Thee Stallion and the Selena Johnsons and the Lil Kims and the Mary J. Blige's. Like every woman that is in the R&B and hip hop industry has spoken out on the challenges. It is how, it's such a double standard on women can say certain things, can't say certain things in their songs. And then you've got men that can go out here and call us all types of names, the bees, the holes, and everything. But when a woman speaks about what she wants sexually or, what she wants romantically, what she's looking
Right.
for in a relationship, I think it should be both ways. Women
It
should be
absolutely
free.
should be both ways.
Right.
I would say the only challenges that I've faced is, you know, working with people and people thinking that you're supposed to sleep with them, you know. So it's like that's one of the biggest challenges I say a lot of women face is, you know, producers and people that you work with, they always want to get connected to you more in a different way, you know, in a sexual way. And it's not always about that. Just because I sing about, you know, sexual things doesn't mean that I want to sleep with everybody. You know what I mean? And
Right.
I could imagine what Megan must go through. She's a beautiful girl. She got the body,
Yes.
you know. So I could imagine people coming must be coming at her all the time, you know.
And I could
But
go down a long list of female
yeah,
artists who've spoken out about it and said, you know, this is not going to go down like this. Just because I sing about
absolutely,
this, this doesn't mean that I represent this. Lil Kim has went through it because she's a very, you
absolutely,
know, her music is very
yeah,
raunchy.
yeah,
And it was Toni Braxton in an interview she did it on Sister Circle, and she said, you know, being a woman in the industry, it has its challenges. You know, you've got your male producers, you can't touch a woman, and in this day and age, in the Me Too movement and everything that is going on, you know,
right,
it's about respect. You know, you're not
absolutely,
gonna, I'm not gonna sleep with you to get this position. So it's very challenging for women out here
right,
right now.
exactly. Yeah, it is. It really is. I'm fortunate that, I haven't had a lot of that, I think because, when I'm
Right.
talking, I'm real cool, I'm real chill. I can chill with anybody. You know, I grew up around so many different people, different races, different types of people. So I just pretty much, I think people are always just comfortable with me, and I don't really go through a lot. Have I been through some? Yeah, I've had to put a couple of people in place, but luckily, I haven't gone through a lot of it.
And I had to bring that up because we're black women, and in this day and age, black women, like 2020 and 2021 has been the year. Hey, Fraternal, 2020 and 2021 has definitely been the year of the black woman. And we've seen what
Right.
happened with the Breonna Taylors and so much disrespect towards women in the industry. So I had to bring that point up, and I'm honored to be having this
Yeah.
conversation with you, one black woman to another black woman, because we
Right.
face these challenges, and I had to bring
Yes,
awareness to it.
absolutely.
So, wow, she's
I'm trying
beautiful.
to make
She
sure that I can hear you.
is.
My phone just went down. Your volume went down. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, you're kind of low, so I'm gonna try to see what's going on with my phone. Where I'm in the car, so maybe I could turn it up in my car a little bit. Okay, just a little bit.
Hi, Nikki
Okay, I'm gonna just try
Nicole.
to work through it. I can see you.
Yes, it's good. I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay, okay, good, good. Yeah, but I'm definitely gonna be putting some new music out. I'm gonna stick to putting singles because right now this is a singles market. People are
Yes.
not really. This is a whole different ball game right now, a whole different industry. People are pretty much putting out singles, but I have a single that I'm gonna be putting out really soon, probably next month or so. I don't want to give it away, but it's gonna be a cool song. It's not on my EP. I don't know if you've heard my EP. It's called Just a Brooklyn Girl, and there's about 5 or 4 songs on there, and it's up on Spotify. But it's a song that's not on that EP that I'm gonna put up.
Uh oh.
But
So a
I'm gonna
bonus
shoot it your
track.
way first.
Definitely. I can't wait to hear it. Now
Yeah.
let's get into the glamour because you've had so many hairstyles, you've had so many looks, and of course, me being a glamour girl myself, I had to skim through Try It Yourself Hair with Holly Berry on the cover. And look who I found on page 51.
Oh, yes, that's
Yes,
back in
and
the
you're pictured
day.
right next to Lauren Hill. So how does
Love
that feel?
Lauren, love her.
And you both have the same sort of style of music. You, Erica,
Yes.
Jill, and the what's her name,
Love all of
Jasmine
them. Love,
Sullivan.
love
Yes.
Jill, love Erica, love each and every one of these ladies. I don't know
How?
any of them personally except Jill. That's my girl.
Oh
Love Jill.
yes, definitely. How did you feel about the? We're now in a day and age with verses, and we've seen the verses with Erica and Jill. If you could do a verses with any female artist that you know is in the game, because you all came out during this era. This was a good era of music. So who would you do a verses with?
I think it would have to be Jill. I
Mm,
just love Jill. Like, we're cool. We've been in the studio together. She's written on my album. She's written on my second album. I don't know if you're aware of Soul Parade, but there's a song called Where on there. Um, Her lyrical content, we work together really well. She's funny as hell. You guys don't know. Jill is funny. Like, she's super cool. So all the other ladies I respect as well, but I know Jill. She's the one that I've been in the studio with, and I've been around. I can say that as far as all the neo soul artists go and the people that are pretty much, in the same lane as I'm in, honestly, there's not really anyone that I'm like, nah. There's not one, because I think they all have something unique and different that they deliver.
Yes.
Each one of us has, there's room for all of us, but we all deliver something that's completely different. You know what I mean? Our voices are different, our style is different. They're a little similar in different ways, but we are all uniquely individuals. We all sing about different stuff, we all perform differently, we all bring something that's unique to the table. What would be fascinating is if there was ever a super concert with all of
Mm.
us females. I think that would be amazing. So if I hit lotto, trust me, I'm putting it together.
Yes, because it's
I'm putting
so
it together.
many. It is so many out
Yes.
here. Like the
And there's
Jills
room
and
for
the
all of us. And
Ericas.
people try to pin us up against each other, but it's really no competition because we all bring something different. You know, we all have a different flow. We all have a different lyrical content. We all dress differently. We're all goddesses in our own right. You see what I'm saying? We all are just, and that's what I truly believe. I have a friend of mine who always, she clowns me and she says, "You're just like, we are the people, save the animals and the planet. We all kumbaya." But seriously, that's that's how I feel. Shout out to my homegirl Chelsea. But seriously, that's how I feel. I love it. I love it all. I love everybody.
Thank you for the hair compliment, Terrence. Yes, just two beautiful black women right here talking. And that's what it is. The industry pins women against each other. And I see that. They do it with the Foxies and the Kims and the
Right.
Rihannas and the Beyoncés. Like they pit women against each other. And it's just like we all here to shine together. Like let one woman do her thing and then the next woman do her thing. Like Erica's not going to be like Jill. Jill is not going to be like Erica. Lettucey's not going to be like a
Right.
Melanie Fiona. Melanie's not going to be like a Jasmine Sullivan. Jasmine Sullivan, and I can go on and so forth and so
Yeah.
on. Like a Kanya Doss is not going to be a Kanya Doss. And for the males, it's Bilal and Eric Roberson and
Right.
it's a duo. It's a married couple duo. Kindred Family Soul. It's so
Kindred family.
many of them out here.
Absolutely. Yes. You are definitely the soul because you just named everybody there. I mean, you just finished it down. And that's definitely, I respect all those artists.
Yes, now
Can you
this
hear
super tour, if this was to happen, I'm putting it in the universe. When this thing is over, I would love to see that. I would love to see that. And I know the audience would too. They would die because Jill and Erica gave us our life on that verses. And I'm just like, we need where's Cherokee? Where's all of the artists, the Nicole
me?
Renee Harrises and
Yeah.
who else was out during this time? Shanice was out. It was such a great era of music. Whitney was still living at that time. And then
Right.
yesterday, it was announced that we lost an icon, Cicely Tyson.
I know. Yeah.
Woo!
Very, 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 very sad. She was amazing, but she's given us so much. She's taught us so much. She's lived a long, beautiful life. And talking about fashion and just bringing it. Oh my God! Now she brought
Yes.
us some fashion and some hair. Like I started googling on the internet, just looking at some of her pictures, and she was fabulous. She was beautiful. Just a beautiful spirited person as well.
Mm.
Just not the physical, but just inside out. I know people that know her and just speak of her highly, you know?
And it's just like another loss. We've lost so many icons from Phyllis Hyman to Michael
Yeah,
Jackson to Prince to Whitney Houston. Like the
yeah,
list goes on and on. And it's just like so many musical artists are out here. What's going to be next for the next generation in the music world of
right,
neo soul and the R&Bs? Because before it was Patty, it was Gladys, it was who else was out? The Diana Rosses, the Temptations. This was a great era of music, and then along came Cherokee and En Vogue and TLC and Mary J.
right,
Blige and so many other great artists out here. So,
right.
what do you feel is next for the future in neo soul music? Because there's so many new up and coming indie artists.
You know what? To be honest with you, I'm not sure because I haven't really been paying attention to it. artists like myself and artists like Jill and all the neo soul artists that you named before, I think they will definitely be the ones that people talk about. Like when my kids, if they think about neo soul, they immediately think about Jill. They think about let's not forget
Mm-hmm.
Jaguar Wright.
Oh
They think
yeah.
about who's an amazing vocalist. They think about Erica, of course, and Lauren. She's in her own lane. But I think those are the artists that we will remember and we'll think about, 10, 15, 20 years, 30 years from now when you think about the soul era and you think about the people who really made a mark, And for artists like myself and other artists who haven't quite reached where they're trying to reach, we just have to keep pushing through. That's all. And we have to be happy for those that have pushed through because they're winning for all of us. You know, they win,
Absolutely.
we win. Shit. If there is a tour, hey, I'm open. I want to open up for Jill. I want to open up for Erica. I want to open up for them. I don't mind. It's no like, oh well, I need to be the one that's headlining. No, no, just chill. Everybody get their spot, and everybody will have their time. It's not on your time. It's on God's time. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And since this pandemic has broken, it's like a lot of music artists out here have found ways, like a Anthony Hamilton as well, to giving people concerts at home. Like a lot of artists are doing that and giving
Yeah.
concerts at home versus because you can't go out here in the public. And I remember it was In Vogue. They performed at what was it, the AMAs, and there was no one in the audience. So it's just very awkward to perform on a stage and the
Yeah.
audience is not there. Like the feeling, but I know due to the pandemic you can't do it. But they said it was
Right.
kind of awkward to just be performing on stage and you got the band and everything and no one's in the audience watching you.
I could imagine, yeah, because you basically feed off of the audience. You get that
Mm-hmm.
adrenaline running as soon as you see those faces. Everybody feels different. Some people are they get more nervous, but I think for me, when I see the people, it's like, okay, now it's time to perform. But you basically have to do what you got to do as an artist. I've had people call me and tell me, it's time for me to start doing, do like a living room performance or, some type of performance at home or a backyard performance. And I'm totally down with that. And I'm kind of easing into the idea of it. It's just, I've just had to take a back seat and take a breather because it's been very, very difficult losing my mom. But I do realize that she would want me to push through this. So I gotta pick myself up and just try and push through it. So
Well,
I
you
will
know I
definitely let you
support you,
know
girl,
when
whatever
I
you
decide to
do.
do one.
Hmm. You know I support you
Yeah,
whatever you decide to do, girl, because I love your
I
music. Like your
appreciate
music
you.
has gotten me through so much. If it's not you, then it's Jill Scott. If it's not Jill, then it's Erica. If it's not Erica, then it's Shantae Moore. If it's not Shantae Moore, if you want to go back in earlier times, it's a Peebo Bryson. Like I could go
Right,
on and on. I'm 27, but my father taught me all about Motown and this era of music.
right.
Because I was born in '93, so that was a great era of music
Okay,
too. You had SWV, you had the Keith Sweats, and who else was out?
right.
In Vogue was out during that time, and Mary was out during that time as well. So it's
Yes.
just a great era of music. But then my brother came in '98, '98, '99. So yeah, I would have been like what 8 years old, and then you came out, and it was Lauren and
Oh,
TLC and Janet
right,
Jackson. Like it's so many.
right. Yeah, absolutely. Wow, you a baby. You so beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Wow.
It is such an honor coming from you. You're a beauty as well too. Because when I seen your videos on Planet Groove and BET, I don't know, they need to bring BET needs to do something because that was a good show.
I
Like the
I
music
miss
video
BET.
countdowns. Yes,
Yes. I miss all of that. It's like now we have to go to YouTube, you know?
to look
You
up the
can't see the
old
video.
performances.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, you can't, they need to bring something back. Those were definitely the good old days. I mean, I remember doing a BET special with Tyrese. And
Okay.
yeah, that was I think it's on YouTube. I think you could pull it up. I probably uploaded it some time back. I've also been fortunate to do open up and do a performance with Sheila E. I think that was
Ooh.
like the most memorable performance that I've ever had. There was a show called Motown Live, and I got to perform with her, and she led the band. And Sheila E. is absolutely amazing,
Mm.
amazing. So you can definitely pull that up on YouTube and see that. If you need some type of music show, we don't have something that we can tune into and check out artists. Even when we had Arsenio Hall, man, that was like, just dreaming about being able to go on Arsenio Hall was like, we don't have that anymore. Fortunately, I got to do Soul Train though, you know,
Oh
but
yeah,
I do,
Don
you're right.
Cornelius was a genius.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't get to meet Don, but that show was amazing. He created an amazing show. There was another host, I forget his name, but it was a great show. I remember it was so funny. I was performing and I banged myself in the mouth with the microphone.
Oh no.
And no one knew through the entire performance. I had a busted lip through the entire performance, but I made it through. I just kept pushing.
Yes. Now let's talk collaborations. If you could collaborate with any artist that is out here currently right now that's doing the thing that's, fresh in the neo soul world, who would that be?
To be honest, it probably wouldn't be
Hey
anyone in
Janelle,
the
hey
neo.
Tony.
It probably wouldn't be anyone in the neo soul world. I would probably create Tyler, the creator, because I think he is a genius. I love his tracks. I love his melodies. I love his concepts. I think he's very free spirited. I've been around Tyler. He's real cool. Um, so I think I would create with him and probably let him decide who else we should bring in on the project. There's so many neo
Mm.
soul artists. The only one that I can think of off the top who's not really neo soul, but just a little bit of everything is Lauren.
Oh
Lauren Hill's
yeah.
just amazing. Because she got that flow, she got the rap and the singing. And I would probably just be like, "Yes, Miss Hill, yes, Miss Hill," the entire time. Because she just floors me. Everyone complains, "Oh, she shows up late." I'm like, "Okay, I'm still waiting. I'm gonna be right here when Lauren gets here on stage. I ain't going nowhere." I've opened up for her before in Amsterdam, and that was an amazing
Ooh.
experience. Yeah, that was an amazing experience. So I love Lauren, but there's too many artists. I mean, who do you see? Who do you think that would be a good fit with me?
Ooh. It's so many. I'm trying to think either
Yeah.
I'm thinking Common or Jasmine Sullivan because
I
Jasmine's
love
hot
Jazz.
right now. Almost every artist that I've
Yeah,
interviewed said
I might
Jasmine.
get a
I don't
little
know.
stumped though. I'll probably just stare at her the whole time because she floors me.
She's
Like,
beautiful.
oh my God, her voice is insane. Like, I just don't even understand. I can't comprehend how she sings the way she sings, and I'm keeping it
Mm.
100% real. When she sings, it just floors me. She's just amazing. I've never been blessed to meet her yet, but she's amazing. I'll just probably just be like, and pause.
She does that to you like she
Yes,
she and Lauren have this I don't know, Nina Simone, like they you can tell they have somewhat of an influence on these two ladies, Jasmine and Lauren, and that these ladies grew up in the church. Like everything, even Mary, like you can tell they grew up in the church, or
right.
it's because it's real. It comes from within and it's deep. And whenever they sing or they rap or whatever they put it into their music, you can feel it. And it's just like, wow, what
Absolutely.
she's singing about, I can feel. I've been
It's
through
a
this.
different thing. Yeah, artists who grow up in church. I wish I would have grown up in a church. It's a different thing. Like you can always tell, like Whitney, she was amazing.
Mm.
You know, Whitney was amazing. She was an amazing person as well. But you can just feel it. It's like a different emotion. It's like a gut emotion. And the vocals that come from people who grew up in church is you can't compare it you can't touch it. I just sit there like, you know, just
Right.
listen to them. I mean, I'm not that type of vocalist, to do runs and all those. I'm just floored by it. I feel like I consider myself more of a storyteller, more of a person who just, I don't even know how to explain it because my style is so different. I can rap as well, even though I don't do it very often, you know, but I consider myself more of a storyteller, you know. I feel like I sing, and I feel like those church people, they sang.
Oh yeah.
It's a whole different thing. It's a whole different thing.
Miss Rebel Jules says from the soul. I agree 100%. They like a Anthony Hamilton or
Yes.
who else? Who's another? Eric Roberson would be a good one too,
Mhm.
as well as it's a new artist by the name of Kevin Ross. Kevin Ross, he would fall in
Right.
the neo soul kind of like category. He's new and up and
Right.
coming fresh to the scene. Like it's so many out here. Gordon Chambers, we can't forget about him. He has
Right.
something as well too. It's something when he writes or pens a song, like his lyrical game and
Yeah.
your lyrical game as well too. It's like when you guys, what's the element like for you when you're writing your music? Because I've seen Erica on Planet Groove. She came in and she bought the sisters that had the hair wraps and everything, and people were just looking like, what is about to happen? She had her incense and her lemongrass tea. She was lighting candles. So what type of environment do you like to have when you're writing your music?
It's kind of different every each time. Like the song "While I'm Flying" that you brought up the last time when you brought up, earlier in the interview. That
Yes.
song that's on my first album, "I Love You Me." That song was actually it's a dream song, and I have a lot of those. I have a lot of dream songs. I will wake up with the whole song, the melody, the lyric. I don't do a lot of pen to
Ah,
paper. I do a lot of turn on the mic, press record, and it just flows.
catch it.
And that's why I feel like most of it's like it's just a gift. It's not all me. I know it comes from somewhere higher because I have no control over it. My kids always tell me, they say, you write off of anything. I could be somewhere and I'll hear a garbage truck go by and catch a beat from it. And all of a sudden I'm in this whole melody with a whole lyric, and I'm just singing and they're just like, huh? You know? So I feel like it's basically this gift that I have no control over, you know? I can take pen to paper and I do take pen to paper, but most of the time it is just organic, you know. I get the track from the producer and I put it on. I like to actually be in my own space. Sometimes producers want me to come in the studio and they want me to create on spot while they're there. I have more of a difficult time doing that. I like to take it, go home, be in my own space or in my car or wherever I am, and it just comes out. That's pretty much how I do
Naturally.
it. But yeah, it's just natural. I don't need to set up a whole vibe, and it just comes out when it comes out. I can't predict it. I can just be talking, even talking to you right now, and all of a sudden here comes song, and I'm like, I got to tell you to hold on. And that's just the way it comes.
And that's a God given because most singers and songwriters they
Yeah.
get what's called writer's block. Like they just don't find that inspiration, but it could go on through something in their life. And a similar situation, like we discussed earlier in the interview with your mom,
Right.
family issues, real issues that hit close home
Yeah.
to people. And
Right.
they turn on the radio or they just need, who was it? It was DJ Spinderella. She said in an interview not too long ago, she said music is supposed to soothe the soul. And neo
Absolutely.
soul music, in a way, for me, is like medicine because you could have a rough day. You could be going through the thing that we're in, this political climate that we're in, the craziness, the foolishness that this former president has done. You just need something to kind of tune out all the craziness and to kind of
Absolutely.
put your mind at ease. And your music does that. Lauren music does that. Jill
Yeah.
Scott music does that. Eric Robertson,
Sade does
Anthony
that.
Hamilton.
Yeah.
Yes, all of them. You guys have this effect on people in neo soul music category that just soothes people's soul. It relaxes us
Right.
and it puts us at ease, and that's what we need in such crazy
Wow.
times in a world of disarray.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. My musical escape is Sade. I listen to
Mm,
Sade when I feel like I need to escape. She always gives me that. Someone's asking, are my children musically inclined? Actually, my daughter is musically inclined, but she wants to be an actress, but she's an amazing she has a jazz voice. and I keep trying to get her to develop it, but she's not really interested in singing. But she has a great jazz voice. She can really sing if she would just hone in and focus on it. She can sing. She also plays piano, um, but she wants to be an actress. So yeah, but she's naturally musically inclined. My son, he wants to model. So,
Uh-oh.
yeah, I have a 14-year-old and a 16-year-old. And my son, I think he has it. He just has to just focus. He's still very young, so he's not ready.
Oh.
He's about, how tall is he? He's about 5'8" or 5'9". So I think he'll be even taller, you know. And he just has it though. But other than that, they're not trying to do music.
They don't want to follow in mommy's footsteps, and that's
No.
understood. Some
Yeah.
It was Brandy. Brandy, mom had said in an interview, when Brandy did her interview, I mentioned so many of the great neo soul and R&B artists here on here because we love everyone music. But Brandy was telling, I think it was Arsenio, and I think her mom was there, Sonia Norwood, and the interview said she didn't want her daughter doing music. She didn't want to put her daughter in the music industry because she knows how it is. But then, lo and behold, when her daughter got a little bit older, her mind changed, and guess who put out a hit single? So Ra put out a hit single, and it was actually
Right.
an Aaliyah cover, and it was beautiful. She did an awesome job. So it might
Wow.
change, mommy. It might change.
I won't mind if it changes. I would love to hear my daughter at least one, jazz song, at least one. Give me that, you know. So if it changes, that's great. But other than that, I support whatever it is that they want to do, you know.
Yes. And
Yeah.
nowadays with our youth, we have to make sure that all the children are getting encouragement. More importantly, staying in school. I know it's been difficult for you to have to do your music and make sure the kids are taken care of. Making sure that they got
Yes.
their schoolwork done because that's more important, and we have to teach that to them.
My kids are actually doing better at home. I know a lot of children are struggling,
Mm.
but for me, I want to keep them at home. I feel like it's safer. We've already lost people in the family, so I would like to keep them home. They're comfortable being home. They're getting all A's and B's. So my son, of course, he wants to go to school. He's younger. He just wants to get back to his friends. But my daughter, she gets it. She wants to be at home and stay focused. She's in the 11th grade. So she just has one more year of high school. If everything is good and we're clear and they can get this COVID under control, I would love for them to go back to school. But until then, I would rather keep them home with me where I know that they're safe and they're doing
Yes.
they're doing just fine, with their grades.
And that's what I would encourage most parents to do, to make sure that you support your children whatever they decide to do. If they say they want to sing or they want to play basketball, encourage them.
Right.
Give them
Yeah.
courage and let them know that I support you 100% because you've got most people in the industry that, if you watch these programs like Behind the Music or
Mhm.
Unsung, and TV One, Cherokee, she needs her unsung episode. So if you're watching, please give her one because y'all have done
Aw, thank
Shanice,
you.
y'all did Drew Hill, but
Right.
we can't forget about some of the artists in the early 90s, early 20s. Like,
Right.
this was a great genre and a great era of music. And I wish people would remember that. And everybody's just like, oh my God, so much nostalgia. So just flipping back
Right.
through the pages of these magazines, and I came across that because I was looking for hair inspiration for one of my episodes before. I said, oh, I'll be having her on the show Friday. I said, I have to show her this. And she said, what is it? What is it? When we were talking, ladies and gentlemen. But this has been an amazing interview. And I can't
Thank
say how
you.
happy I am to be here to sat with you. I feel like I'm talking with one of my girlfriends, like I've known you for a long time. Like just two
Yes,
black
yes.
women. One's a singer, the other one's not. She's a journalist. And that's what it is. So,
Yes.
where does Cherokee see herself in the next few years in her music career?
In the next few years, I hope to definitely release more songs. I hope to, hopefully develop some artists as well, write on other people's projects as well. I'm really into helping other people. So I would love to develop, I've developed artists in the past. So that's something I would love to do, is develop other artists as well. But I definitely see myself putting out another album, hopefully a live album. I don't mind the drum machines and the program and all that, but I really want to get back to doing the live. I miss that. I want to get in the studio with a live band, tour, get back on the road. Once everything is clear, that's where I see myself traveling and performing and getting back overseas and Japan. I have a huge following in Japan, so as long as they stop bootlegging my music, because in Japan they sell my CDs for like $200, and I'm like, stop it, stop, just hit me up and I give
Wow.
it to you for 10. So you know, so I would love to get back on the road. I would love to tour, but this time have my family with me.
And yes, family, to add on to piggyback off of what Cherokee she just said, family is everything in this industry. Some people, when they get in this music industry, they lose sight of who they are and forget the ones who helped them get to where they are. Remember the ones who are there supporting you, your mom, your dad. Some people don't have those in the industry anymore. Like
Right.
Queen Latifah lost her mom, and that's, as she grew up, now she's an adult, she lost her mom, and she's
Yeah.
not there to, congratulate her on all these awards that she's winning. Like, losing your mom
Yeah.
and is like losing that piece of your soul. And you know how the expression is, they say you don't want to lay your mom to rest,
Absolutely.
when it's not your time to go, or how the old adage goes. It's just completely different, and it's very odd. So again, send
Right.
Cherokee some love, send her some encouragement, and y'all please go and check out her album, I
Thank
Love You
you.
Me. My very, very favorite album from her. And Goddess is one of
Oh.
my favorite songs. We didn't get a chance to talk about that one because it has like a, you said you write raps as well too. This one is somewhat, it felt
Yeah.
like a rap. It was giving me very
Right,
much.
yeah. It's just like I laying back, just kind of like in a pimp mode. It's
Right.
very like nails on fleek, mind so deep, yoni pure sweet. You know what I'm saying? It's very kick back, cool. So yeah,
And it's empowering. Like, when you get up in the morning, you want a song that'll make you feel good. It's empowering. It's uplifting. Like,
right.
Janelle Monáe and Erica gave us Queen, and this is kind of giving me that type of feel. And
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
okay. It also kind of gave me, I don't know if you get this a lot, but Left Eye from TLC. That's kind of
Oh
the way
wow,
you rap. Yes, it kind of gives
wow.
me a little bit of Left Eye. The same
Right.
exact sounds.
I'll take that.
Yes.
I'll take that.
So
She
this
was an
sounds like
amazing
something
voice.
she would do. But yes, you gave it
Right.
to us in this particular
Thank
song. So
you.
do we have,
Thank you.
you are so welcome. Do we have any questions for Miss Cherokee before we wrap up, ladies and gentlemen? Because this was a sensational interview. Like I said, I felt like I'm talking to one of my girlfriends who I've known for a very long time. Miss Rebel, did you get your life in this interview? Did you guys enjoy this Black Girl Magic today on Friday?
Aw.
I hope y'all did, because this was the interview I've been waiting for. I did my interview with Urban Monday and he drove the ladies crazy. But this one right here is a little bit for everybody, to see black women come together and have conversations about music, because they don't show that often in the industry. It's just, oh, hard, you know, uh, Cardi and Nicki throwing shoes at the Hoppers Bazaar event. You see women tearing each other apart, and it's just like, we
Right,
don't need to do all that in this industry. We need to come together, especially when a day and age where black women, we're so unprotected and undervalued and
right,
underappreciated. So you need to see
right.
this.
Exactly. Somebody said, I love your first album. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Thank you. There's going
Miss
to be
Rebel,
more, so much more.
I love this interview. I know you guys would. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I had to give you something throughout the week in the world of this. We're very encouraging. Women supporting women. Yes, you Miss Rebel, you a girl. You don't see that enough in the industry.
Right.
Speaking of women supporting women, Tony Bryce, ladies and gentlemen from P Valley, you guys give her a hand, show us some love in the audience. We got so many
Whoop,
divas in the
whoop.
audience in here. It was everything for me when I was growing up. Yes, that album, that particular album, I
Wow.
love the first track opening up on the album. Like, this album right here gave me my entire life and then some. I love your energy, Cherokee.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
While I'm Flying, that song, if you guys have not heard it from her first album, please go and check it out. So, do we have any more
Yeah.
questions? before we wrap it up?
While I'm flying, man, that was my dream song, you know. That was a song that I actually wrote about my own death and how people see me, and I was questioning them and asking them, you know, why they were crying and why were they going through all of those feelings that they were feeling while I'm flying, you know. It's a deep song. It's a really deep song.
And it's beautiful. The sound of it, the chorus and the hook. When you go into it, it's just like, wow, what is this? Because before I'm just
Yeah.
like, okay, what type of feel is she gonna give us? And it's a another singer that
Right.
was out as well too, and she kind of does neo soul music. She was out in the early '90s. Her name is Amber Sunshine,
Oh
and
yeah.
mm-hmm, she
Yes,
your
go
album,
download
this
the
album right
album.
here. Yes. Oh, we got some questions and the title track. Yes. That I Love You Me. Yes. That album, is that a
Yeah,
scar or
it's
a
a
tat? Is it Beautiful Place? Everybody wants to know, is it a scar or a tat?
where? What scar?
Um I think on the your forehead.
No, that is a bendy. See? It's a bendy. It's a
It's
sticker.
beautiful.
Thank you. It's a
She
sticker. I
used to
like
do
to
this
wear
a
little jewels.
lot.
See? I like little jewels.
She used to do that a lot back in the day, Cherokee. Like, she gave me my life with that curly red hair in that video, ladies and gentlemen.
I love to switch up the hair. You know, today I'm doing some braids, but I sometimes I go and get the locks. I do the locks, you know, and I wear it up in two big pom poms, you know. I like to just switch it up.
Yeah, it's about versatility. In this industry, they're just like, well, why does she change up her hair all the time? Janet doesn't stay the same. Rihanna doesn't stay the
Right.
same. Mary doesn't stay the
Right.
same. And every album you've given us, you've transitioned. Even,
Yes.
Beyonce, she's never stayed the same. Her look is consistently changes.
Right.
For a woman, and being a woman in the industry, we have to pay for hair, makeup, all of these things. And
Yes.
for a man can just go out there, get his beard trimmed, cut or whatever. But for
Right.
us, it's a process.
It's a process, yeah, and it makes you feel good. It's fun. I enjoy it.
She still looks
Aww,
25. Give us the
thank
secret. Yes,
you.
what is your secret? Because you look amazing.
I would say to just it's diet, to be honest. It's mostly diet. I used to be vegan. I'm not vegan anymore. I actually still eat fish. I now eat fish again. But black don't crack. Yeah, you know that. But it's diet. I don't smoke, I don't drink, you know. I try and be peaceful even though my kids sometimes drive me crazy. You know, but try to meditate, you know, things of that nature. You know, just mostly diet. That's what I would tell everybody. It's mostly diet, taking your supplements, drinking water. I
Yes.
am guilty of not drinking enough water. I need to drink. So if I look 25 now, wait till I drink my gallon.
Miss Rebel Jewel said absolutely
Um,
beautiful.
Thank you.
Yes. Ageless. Like, it's like time stands still. Everybody still looks the same. Shanice, Mary, everybody still looks the same. It's like
Yeah.
time stands still. And she is about Mother Andrew to me. She is about Mother Andrew to me. I'm delivered. I know that kids struggle. Do we have any more questions for Miss Cherokee, ladies and gentlemen? Because this is a sensational interview. Like, I'm so glad I got to speak with one of my favorite female neo soul singers. Like, it's
Thank
like a
you.
dream come true.
Any live performances coming? Not yet, but I think that I'm gonna wind up doing something special, like an intimate gathering in my living room. Bring a few musicians in. You know, it's a little tricky right now because of COVID, so I want to make sure that everyone is safe, you know, and that we're
Yes,
all okay. So that's pretty much where I am. It's a little shaky grounds for me because, as you guys know, I lost my mom due to COVID, so I have to be very careful. I'm
careful.
very nervous about the whole COVID thing, you know. But that will probably be my next performance, is just doing something intimate right here on IG in my living room with a few musicians.
So, do we have any more questions, Fashion Dolls? Because again, this was an incredible interview. I can't say that enough. It has been like it's great to speak to other black women on my platform. Like I just recently did an interview with Shanice Wilson not too long ago,
Nice.
and we have Vanessa Williams, Miss America 1984. She's coming February 18th, and I'm super nervous. So, um, I'm pretty sure I will do just fine. Everybody saying
Yes, you
peace up
will.
and all the love and condolences. Yes, losing your
Thank
mom,
you.
that again is so difficult.
Yeah,
But I
it's
can't
very
talk Miss
difficult.
Cherokee's head off, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so sorry, OMG. My mom just had it. Now I'm emotional. It's okay. It's okay. You know we
Yeah,
here.
I'm
We all
sorry.
support each other.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. And if you need to talk, just reach out. Reach out to me. I'm around.
So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, any more questions before we wrap up? Because I can't keep Miss Cherokee. I know she is very busy. And
Oh,
tomorrow, make sure you guys tune in for our show with EJ. February is going to be
love you
amazing.
too.
And let everyone else know where they can stream your music, where they can go find you before we
You
wrap up.
guys can stream my music on Spotify. You can get all my music on Spotify. You can check my videos on YouTube. Um, I have a YouTube page. It's Cherokee the Artist. And I will have a new single that's going to be dropping next month. It's not on the EP. The EP that's on Spotify, it's called Just a Brooklyn Girl. So go check that out as well. Download it, put it in your phone, and I hope to see you guys soon. I will keep you posted for when I'm going to do my performance. Shout out to my fans, shout out to my friends, and just shout out to everyone. Stay healthy and stay safe, guys. Please, please, please wear your masks. Don't forget, put your mask on. You're not Superman and Superwoman.
Absolutely. Make sure you guys are washing your hands, social distancing, and staying
Yes,
social distance away from each other. And make sure you guys
yes.
are wearing your mask, like Cherokee just said. And check out my favorite hit singles from her, "While I'm Flying" and "Goddess." It is
Oh.
everything. Please go and do that. So definitely, I
Thank
love you
you.
all. You are so welcome, girl, and you welcome to come back anytime to promote your music here. So I'd love to have you
Thank you.
back.
I appreciate you.
You
Thank
are
you so
so
much for having
welcome.
me.
It was
Thank
such
you.
an honor to speak with you, and we definitely will keep in touch. All right, ladies and
Okay,
gentlemen, Cherokee,
absolutely.
give it up to her.
Bye, guys.
All right, my love, take care.
Bye.